Well, my business partner and I set the business up in 2008. And we came from very different backgrounds actually. We were from banking, so we weren't actually tailors when we set the business up. And we did spend a year researching and development, and I very much had a passion for the industry, and my business partner very much initially thought of it as a sort of pure business venture. And throughout the time, his passion has totally swung the other way, and he's now massively obsessed with tailoring. And so we've been running for about 4 years and have grown so quickly, and it's through a love of what we do and a total belief in that every man should have a suit. Well, I've always been quite fortunate that I've had my suits made for me, and I've had suits made from everyone from Savile tailors to travelling tailors coming over from Hong Kong, and they kind of fall in two camps. You can either have an incredibly expensive suit made on Savile, which is £3,000 or £4,000, or you can have a suit made from a Hong Kong tailor that costs you £300 or £400. And the one that costs you £3,000 or £4,000 is fantastic, it's lovely, but you leave with a bitter taste in your mouth because you have to spend that sort of sum of money. And on the other hand, you spend £300 or £400 and you get a suit that's not wonderful. And there wasn't really anything in the middle. So that's where we kind of had the idea. There must be a way that you can produce a suit that is worth more than the lower end, but is more competitive than the high end. So that was our pure sort of business thought behind what we're doing. We faced enormous difficulties actually. My business partner Ian, his family were hell-bent, saying, you're mad. It's 2008, world's going into recession. You're from a banking background. It's not necessarily wonderful, but just try and get your head down, get back into banking, and continue what you're doing. Setting up a business in a recession is not necessarily the world's best idea, but actually what it means is, because the economic environment is so tough that you have to be so religious about looking at the bottom line, what you're doing, what you're producing, the service you're giving, and fundamentally you have to have a margin in there, which means that you can be a going concern as a business. So the fact that we did set up in that recession period meant that we had to look at every aspect of our business to make it as strong as it could be. So it means that we're in a position that we are today, that we're going from strength to strength. I think I came from a banking background, and so did Ian. And fundamentally, when you're doing something like banking, you're just a cog in a very big picture, and you're just a very, very small part, and we were both just moving money from one place to another. And there's not really any sense of reward in it. And so we were looking for something else to do, and stumbled across this idea. And setting up a business, it by no means is an easy thing to do. There's an incredible amount of work, and it shouldn't be done light-heartedly. But I think coming from outside the industry was actually one of our best strengths, because it meant that we could look at it hopefully objectively, look down on the bigger picture, and kind of say, well, those guys have got that aspect of it right, and these guys have got that aspect of it right. But fundamentally, we are our own customer, in the sense that 65–70% of our customers are working professionals. So we know how we wanted the service to be. Whereas it's very easy if you're inside the industry to say, okay, well, I'm a tailor and I know that people need to appreciate the art. Well, that's one thing, but actually you need to appreciate the service, and educating people into the art is the secondary sort of part of it. So we came in from a different angle, which I think was by far one of our biggest strengths.